அட போச்சே.
Hello.
ஹாய்டா.
No more. After 100 episode.
101வது நாள்.
Yes.
இதெல்லாம்
So,
ஒரு
what was
ஃபிலிம்
the
இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில இருந்திருந்தா 101 எப்படி தரமா
ஆமா
இருந்திருக்கும்.
ஆமா
பீஸ்டுக்கு பால்
ஆடியோ லான்ச் 100 day லான்ச்லாம் கொண்டாடி இருப்போம்.
Yes.
So
We could
what
have got HK Puja to come and dance also. Arabic kutu.
அதெல்லாம் தேவையில்ல ப்ரோ. நோம்பு மாசம் கொஞ்சம் பொத்திக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும்.
இல்ல தெரியுமா கேக்குற நோம்பு மாசம் பொத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்கணும். நோம்பு மாசத்துக்கு அப்புறம்
அவர் வந்து விரிச்சிட்டு
actually
இருப்பாரு.
continue to பொத்திக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். That's by right.
ஆனா பை லைஃப்
By life, humans tend to get
ஏன்னா இல்ல இந்த கிட்ட இதை நான் சொல்லி ஆகணும். என் நண்பர் ஒருத்தர் இருக்காரு. டாபிக் போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி நண்பர் நேர்களே என் நண்பர் ஒருத்தர் இருக்காரு. 12 மாசத்துல 11 மாசம் வந்து பச்சையா திட்டுவாரு, கேவலமா திட்டுவாரு. நீங்க என்ன செஞ்சாலும் செம்ம கஸ்டமர் சர்வீஸா மட்டும் இருந்தீங்க, யூஆர் ஃபினிஷ்ட். ஏன்டா வாழ்ந்தோன்னு இருக்கும்.
கஸ்டமர் சர்வீஸ் இருக்காது. you will be customer torture.
ஈவில் ராபாடி பொண்ண ராபா. ஓகே, அந்த நோம்பு மாசம் அப்ப ஃபாஸ்டிங் இருக்கிறப்ப அப்புறம்
ஸோ ராபானா ரொம்ப மோசமா.
எஸ், இந்த நோன்பு மாசம் அப்பதான் அவர் வந்து யாரையும் ஏச மாட்டாரு. நேற்று ஒரு கேவலமான ஜோக்கு சொன்னேன், அவரை ட்ரிகர் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு கேவலமான ஜோக்கு, ஒரு இதுவும் குயிர் திட்டலையே, அப்படியே கம்முன்னு இருந்தாரு. நான் யாரை பத்தி பேசுறேன் தெரியுமா?
ஆக்சென்ட் வந்து அப்படி திடீர்னு மாத்துவாரா?
எஸ்,
அந்த நபரா?
அதே அவர்தான், நம்ம ஹோஸ்ட் ஜாவர்.
எஸ்,
இந்த மாசம் முழுக்க ஒரு வார்த்தை கூட டேய் என்ன திட்டவே இல்லடா, அவ்வளவு
நல்லவன்.
இன்னும் 2 வாரத்துல தெரிஞ்சிடும்.
லைக் என்னது சபரிமலைக்கு மாலை போட்டா அது ரொம்ப பாயசம் இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ ஃபார் மீ இஸ் லைக் when you if you want to fast, might as well do it as a package. Do it everything properly.
exactly.
Like in the sense of following the prayers, like don't tell things and everything. It's ஒழுங்கா ஃபுல்லா, அப்பதான் ஒரு மன திருப்தி. ஒழுங்கா செஞ்சோன்னு
அதே இது ஷரீஃப் கேட்ட மாதிரி ஏன் அது 12 மாசத்துக்கு செய்ய மாட்டேன், 1 மாசத்துக்கு மட்டும் செய்யற?
12 மாசத்துக்கு நல்லவனா தான் இருப்பேன். ஆனா இந்த வல்கரிட்டிஸ் கொஞ்சம் இடிக்குது. அது மட்டும் தான் என்னோட வீக் சைட்.
Actually, if you want to put it in a casual way, right, this நோம்பு மாசம் இருக்குல்ல, you see it as like a XP boost. XP
You
boost.
get twice the points.
You get
or something,
twice
right?
100
Yeah.
certain days of the month of Ramadan, you get 100,000 when you do good deeds. So it's like a chance for you to catch up. And then அதுக்கு அப்புறம் you're supposed to maintain, but of course you being a human, naturally you will go back, you will lose your standards. Your standards will go back down. And then அடுத்த நோம்பு மாசம் வரதுக்குள்ள it's time for you to go back up.
It sort of puts you back on track.
Yeah, correct. So that's the idea behind it all.
Anyways, இந்த எபிசோட் வரப்ப நோன்பு பெருநாள் வந்து ஐ திங்க் will be on the day. ஸோ நோன்பு பெருநாள் கொண்டாடுற நேயர்களுக்கு வந்து இனிய நோன்பு பெருநாள் நல்வாழ்த்துக்கள்.
Selamat Hari Raya.
மச்சான் நம்ம வெள்ளக்காரன்ட்ட பேசலடா.
இல்லடா, சும்மா ஒரு ஃப்ளோல வந்துட்டு
ஃப்ளோவில் சொல்ல, எசன்ல சொல்லாத. ஸோ நேர்களே, இந்த வாரம் டாபிக் போயிடுவோம். இந்த வாரம் டாபிக் வந்து கொஞ்சம்
Controversial. Yeah. ஒழுங்கா பேசினா கான்ட்ரோவர்ஷியலா இருக்குது. So let's aim to be proper.
I say we come out with the truth. Sharif, bring out the chendol papi.
ஷாரிஃப் will lead this topic. Anything ஏதாச்சும் நான் ஷாரிஃபை மட்டும் கண்டுபிடிங்க. ஏன்னா அவர் தான் ரொம்ப கான்ட்ரோவர்ஷியலா இந்த மாதிரி டாபிக்ல வந்து காமெண்ட்ஸ் கொடுப்பாரு.
அப்படியா?
எஸ்.
It. ஓகே, ஸோ இந்த வாரத்தோட டாபிக் வந்து ஜெண்டர் ரோல்ஸ் அண்ட் எப்படி ஜெண்டர் ரோல்ஸ் வந்து இந்த செஞ்சுரியில வந்து மாறி போச்சு.
இவால்வ் ஆயிருக்கடா.
Change of gender roles.
அது சேஞ்ச்னு சொல்ல மாட்டேன். I would say evolve.
Evolution of gender roles.
Change is evolve what?
இந்த கட்டத்துல அந்த சொல்லலாமா? ஏன்னா சேஞ்ச்னாக்கா இட்ஸ் லைக்
It's changing னு சொல்லலாம். It's changing.
What is an evolution?
It's an upgrade.
மாற்றுதல்.
No, evolution is
to me I thought evolution would be like an upgrade.
actually it's change over time, simply.
It's just change over time.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you got engine
and you change the normal engine to nitros, you call it change, right?
சத்தியமா என்னன்னு புரியல.
So it's still, I'm just trying to say changing and evolution is still the same, the meaning.
It evolves into something else lah.
Yeah.
அது ஒரு
Okay lah.
சீம் அர்த்தம்னு சொல்லலாம். சீம்னா இஸ் பிக் பாஷ் term. So இந்த வாரத்தோட டாபிக், let's kick start it. I'm going to ask one of you all lah. So Bharat, what is your opinion on gender roles when you're growing up? நீ
So
பார்த்த
what was instilled in me when I was
what is
growing up?
instilled in you? நீ பார்க்கிற like what have you seen when you grew up when it comes to gender roles?
So when I grew up in என்னோட குடும்ப சர்க்கிள்ல வந்து men provide, women do the house chores அந்த மாதிரி. It's a very traditional concept. Sorry to say that. அதுதான் உண்மை. ஏன் இதுல அதுதான் உண்மைன்னு இல்லை. Sorry to say that என்னோட சர்க்கிள்ல இருந்து men work, provide for the family. பெண்கள் வந்து வீட்டில இருந்து சமைச்சிட்டு இருப்பாங்க, இல்லை they'll do the house chores or take care of the family. That's the proper word.
Okay. Yuva, what about you?
No, mine was 50-50. So ரெண்டு பேரும் share the whole load lah. Like வேலை செய்யறது, வீட்டு வேலை செய்யறது, all that. So it was always equal. Traditional gender role பத்தி யாரும் enforce பண்ணல. My father did housework, mother did housework. Cooking wise, mother அடிக்கடி சமைச்சாங்க because she was the better cook lah. அப்பா சமைச்சா அப்பா தான் சாப்பிடுவாரு.
நீ சாப்பிட மாட்டேன்.
இல்ல no that one because every time by default அம்மா will just potong like cut பண்ணி அவங்களே சமைச்சு கொடுத்துருவாங்க. So yeah, other than that, you know, like family everything was equal. Yeah, because they wanted, because நான் வந்து வளர்ந்துட்டு was one son one daughter, right? So my parents always wanted to enforce I think in a way my parents were a bit more progressive. They wanted to enforce the fact that பெண்களும் should be educated, should be doing things more freely அவங்களோட சாய்ஸ்க்கு ஏற்றபடி, rather than just adhering to the ரொம்ப, in my opinion, backward way of thinking. That they should just do this and that. They should have the choice about what they want to do. So they enforce பண்ணி அவங்க நம்ம ரெண்டு பேரும் வளர்ந்தாங்க. And yeah lah. So that was my context.
Nice. Jawhar, what about you?
For me also same lah, because நான் வளரும்போது my mother is the only one who was going to work, whereas my aunties all were like housewife. So like my uncles were like the sole breadwinner, right, of the family. என் வீட்டில் வந்து என் வீட்டில் மட்டும் தான் தலைகீழ இருக்கும். ஏன்னா என் அம்மாவும் வேலைக்கு போவாங்க, என் ஃபாதர் வேலைக்கு போவாங்க. they equally share the load. Like you சொன்ன மாதிரி, my father will my mother will pay this month bill, my father will pay the next month bill. My father also can cook. Actually my father cooks better than my mother, but both also can cook.
கட் பண்ணிடுறா பரஃப்.
It's okay, அது அம்மாக்கே தெரியும். அம்மாவே she will ask my father, நீங்களே சமைச்சிருங்க. So yeah, in a way for me was like very equal thing. And my father was very liberal to my mom when she was like working and stuff. He will like let her go with for her like business parties until late night and stuff, and come back like, you know, after like 1 a.m. 2 a.m. and he'll be totally cool with it.
இந்த கட்டத்தில் I have to say one more thing actually. இதை சொன்னேன், I was instilled with the traditional mindset. அது நான் ஏன்னா என் பாட்டியோட வளர்ந்தேன். So therefore I'm not even talking about my party, my kollu party. So that was a whole different concept. But after you all said the parents thing, right, I realized I didn't mention about my parents. My father is the better cook, obviously. So they were a bit more liberal in the sense of like 50-50 line in that sense. நான் வளர்ந்தது என் கொள்ளு பாட்டி like because they went to work. So obviously I'm with my grandparents. Which is a good and bad thing, because I learned the best of both worlds.
Nice.
For me, when my parents went to work, I had to take care of myself. I had to clean the house and everything after school, because my sister will be sent to my grandma's house. நான் வந்து வீட்டில் வந்து earlier வந்து எல்லாத்தையும் க்ளீன் பண்ணிட்டு படுத்து தூங்கிட்டு that kind of thing lah, until my brother was born. Then we had to take a helper lah.
என்னோட சிச்சுவேஷன் இஸ் pretty close to Jawhar's. அந்த ஒரு வகையில வந்து my father was the breadwinner. அது பட் ஒரு கட்டத்துல வந்து in my early teens, என் ஃபேமிலிக்கு வந்து சில ஃபைனான்ஷியல் டிஃபிகல்ட்டிஸ் இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ என்னோட அம்மா வந்து ஷேர் டு ஸ்டெப் இட் பிகாஸ் அவங்களோட she had some qualifications in Tamil language. அவங்க வந்து டியூஷன் கற்றுக் கொடுக்க ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டாங்க. So after that, both supported the family, and after that, until now it's been that way. So so one good thing is that my mom, from tuition, now she has moved on to author assessment books for Tamil students. So in that way, she has evolved her career. So yeah, right. So oh, by the way, Jawhar, I just wanted to add, your father's biryani is actually very good. I've tasted before.
Right.
Yeah, charcoal vachi he prepared.
He would do so. I don't know. I see him. I don't know how he cook, but
It's amazing actually. It's
I'm
really good.
very jalla. Until to the point that I cannot eat biryani outside because of him. He like very samchi, right? Like the for me, like if it doesn't match up to my father, I cannot eat outside at the same time. Yeah, it kind of thing.
Gift.
Yeah, and it's also like அடிக்கடி கிடைக்கிறனால அந்த அருமை எனக்கு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. Bharat, want to change place?
What's
You'll love it. You'll love it.
Anytime.
Okay. So gender roles இருக்குல்ல in the topic. So now we just going to have a bit of a discussion. உங்களை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும், the three of you, including me, what changed when it comes to in the society la பார்த்தா, global society la வந்து what changed during this period where traditional பார்த்தப்போ men were the breadwinners, not even like maybe 40-50 years back. Men were seen as the வீட்டுக்கு வந்து like சம்பாரிச்சி, then they were seen as the protectors, and they were seen as the breadwinners. So in the past 30-40 yearsல வந்து ஒரு சுறுசுறுப்பான ஒரு like விறுவிறுப்பான ஒரு like change we have seen before. We never seen before in human history in a sense னு சொல்லலாம். But you've seen women also becoming leaders. You have seen women also becoming like breadwinners for the family. Or equality irukku veetla. So what are your opinions on that? Let's start it with Jawhar.
Very simple education. It started with education.
Okay.
Females also started to go for schools. They started to upgrade themselves, and they were like, and the competitiveness, like class gender நீ ஆம்பளை நான் பொம்பளைன்னு இல்லாம, they just see as a whole of education, like they like doing the same paper and everything, and they want to do better. And also quality of living, like in our number context la Singapore la quality of living, it's all both. It has come to a point like ஒரு வீட்டில் வந்து மினிமம் ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்ட் இன்கம் வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சர்டன் லெவலில் இருக்கணும்னா 2 பேரும் வேலைக்கு போகணும். To have, how to say, the minimum comfort of life.
That's very standard in like so-called Western society, and also ஒரு வகையில் சிங்கப்பூர்ல.
Yeah, I'm talking about Singapore context lah. ஏன்னா இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு தெரிஞ்சு நம்ம வந்து இப்போ அந்த current, how to say, very expensive momentல வாழ்ந்துட்டு இருக்கோம். Like the prices in sense of everything is like
inflation
high. Yeah, inflation compared to our parents' time. Even talking about housing also, like buying certain houses back in the 90s to early 2000 would have been half the price. Now it's like double, triple certain areas.
Right.
So another quality of living also has come to a point that both also have to be equally supporting the family. And education wise also, 2 பேரும் provided the same education level and stuff. நீ யாரு like it's accessible for ரெண்டு பார்ட்டிக்கும். ஸோ உங்களால் முடிஞ்ச அளவு நீங்கள் படிச்சுக்கிட்டே போகலாம். there's no stop until you decide to stop upgrading yourself. Then it's also good thing because என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் if both party are educationally inclined, so especially when we have kids, 2 பேரும் வந்து அந்த 2 பேராலேயும் அந்த பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு அளவுக்கு வந்து அவங்களோட அந்த homework, அவங்க questionஸ்ல ஹெல்ப் பண்ண முடியும்னால it's like a team effort. It doesn't only depends on one particular person, you see. ஏன்னா என்னோட personal experienceல பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் my aunties are not very well educated. Like they are not inclined in education wise, and my uncles are the only one who has been educated to. They really have my degree and stuff. So the kids, like, you know, especially when they were like my cousins or when they were young, right, they couldn't like sell a maths question, they couldn't ask their mom because they totally have no clue how to help them with it. So they have to wait until the father comes back, or the worst, then they started this tuition. That's when the tuition, like, or a last time tuition was to help the kids. Now tuition is like a, how to say, enrichment program is like a, what to say, like how to go to the next level. It became to the next level. Tuition
It's a
was
necessity lah. It's a necessity.
it became like, if you want to become better, you go to tuition. It's not to help you, you know. You already, like, nowadays kids, right, what I see is all of them are in a certain standard to achieve great heights in educational level, to achieve great grades, they have to go to tuition.
It's a prerequisite before entering any level lah. Like
Yes,
sec 1 or sec 1
ஸ்கூல்ல
tuition
ஒண்ணுமே
போனா.
கத்து கொடுக்கலன்னு
Yeah, it's a prerequisite மாதிரி இல்ல.
No, ஸ்கூல்ல ஒன்றும் கற்றுக் கொடுக்கல இல்லை. ஸ்கூல்ல கற்றுக் கொடுக்கறது is more than enough. And they want to do better, you see. They want all
you want to
A's.
be the
All B's. Like, you know, my time, like, people go to tuition just because they are struggling with their work, not because they already know their work. Usually that's how it is in my time. When I was in secondary school and I was in primary school.
okay.
நான் டியூஷன் போயிருக்கேன், வெக்கமே இல்லாம சொல்றேன்.
ஆனா என்ன கிழிச்ச?
நிறைய கிழிச்சேன்டா.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
சுருக்கமா Yuva and Barav, you also chip in your thoughts.
ஏன்டா?
சுருக்கமா
சுருக்கமாவா? சிப்பி நீரு I press L1.
அதுதான் உனக்கு வராதே.
ஜவஹர் சொன்ன பதில் லெங்க்த்னால நான் கேள்வியே மறந்துட்டேன்.
Actually அது உண்மை. But I want to add on a couple of points. I think I get a rough gist of what Dawar said and what the question was.
இல்ல
எதுக்கும் நேர்கள் மறந்துடும். இல்ல எதுக்கும் நேர்கள் மறந்துப்பாங்க. So அந்த சுருக்கமா கொஸ்டினை சொல்லிடுவியா?
இல்ல நீ மறந்ததுக்கு ஒரு காரணம் இருக்கு. பாரஃப் எந்திரிச்சான்ல கொஞ்சம் முன்ன, யாரோ கத்துறாங்கன்னு சொல்லி.
டேய் அது இல்லடா, நீ ஆன்சரை வந்து ஒரு 2 லைன் ஆன்சரை வந்து ஒரு 100
I go in detail la. Make sure everyone understand.
It's good.
It's good.
மாதிரி யாரு தேவை?
So கேள்வி வந்து is, what have you seen personally that you know the gender roles வந்து started to change rapidly for you both?
You want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So let me give context in terms of, I'll start with my Kollubati. Right? My Kollubati got no education. No education. 14 வயசுலயே கல்யாணம் பண்ணாங்க. ஏன்னா parents வந்து they died of sickness or something, right?
Okay.
Married, 6 kids. My grandmother was the eldest. Primary 6 வரைக்கும் படிச்சாங்க. Then after that she started doing housework. Okay. So இது வந்து, I'm telling you, அந்த முதல்ல சொன்னேன்ல, fit women provide for the house, men provide through labor, women provide through taking care of the house. Correct?
Okay. Traditional, okay.
That's the traditional.
That's the traditional side.
Yeah.
Okay. எனக்கு வந்து எப்போ தெரியுமா எல்லாமே மாற ஆரம்பிச்சிச்சு, when I started to notice when things that my father did that my grandfather might not have done. My grandfather sadly passed away when my father was 9 years old.
Okay.
But from what I've heard, all he did was provide for the family, buy food, you know. He did cook, he did do housework and all that, but mainly was my grandmother. Okay? Not say he didn't do it, he did as well. Then came my mom. எங்க அம்மா. Okay? எங்க அம்மா வந்து கல்யாணம் பண்ணோன்னே தான் வேலைக்கு போக ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. ஓகே, படிப்பு வந்து ஒரு செகண்டரி அண்ட் ஓ லெவல் அந்த மாதிரின்னு வச்சுக்கோ, somewhere around there. Now my sister, okay, this is the 4th generation female, which is my generation right now. படிச்சு முடிச்சோன்னே there was no question whether she going to work or not. First thing she did was find her internship. So the point I'm trying to bring here, right, how I see gender evolution. பாட்டி 14 வயசுல கல்யாணம், ஆனால் கொள்ளு பாட்டி 14 வயசுல கல்யாணம், பாட்டி வந்து 21 வயசுல பிரைமரி 6 முடிச்சோன்னே வீட்டு வேலை ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு 21 வயசுல கல்யாணம். எங்கள் அம்மா 27 வயசு 28 வயசு, but only started working after she got married, like full-time work after she got married. My sister working straight after education. So to me what this shows, right, அந்த ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன்ங்கிறது இல்லை, and it's good because in layman terms women are not just bound to the kitchen. That's just
because priorities have changed. nowadays.
Not only
Correct?
priorities have changed, the way of living has also changed. Technology has a huge part to
correct.
play in it, and a lot of things have changed. நான் இங்கிலீஷ்ல தான் சொல்லி ஆகணும், ஏன்னா தமிழ்ல வந்து சரியான காலை பண்ணிடுவேன். So the way we live, the way the modern society works, it's too fast paced. And in order for us to survive, we need அந்த ரெண்டு கப்பலும் கண்டிப்பா வேலை செய்யணும். And ஜவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி inflation is bad. It's completely bad. ஒருத்தர் மட்டும் வேலை செஞ்சாக்கா, ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ் அவங்க வந்து 10,000 வேலை வேலை செஞ்சாக்கா, no issues. Where the term house husband is actually a norm now. If you all have not came across that.
ஆசைடா எனக்கு அது ஆசை.
என்னது?
ஹவுஸ் ஹஸ்பண்ட் இருக்கணும்னு ஒரு ஆசை.
It's not a bad
No,
thing.
it's a good thing.
I'm not
You
saying this
watch
is a bad thing.
Hey Sinamika, recently the movie Hey Sinamika is about house husband.
The one I get referred to is the intern. அவங்க வந்து அவர் பேர் மறந்துட்டேன்.
Robert De Niro.
Yes, he's the intern for this female entrepreneur, and her husband is like a house husband. It's interesting. So the female empowerment, அது இதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல.
Yeah.
It is more vocal now. It is more prevalent now because of the fact that women have stepped up, and education plays a huge part. And people need to realize actually, ஓரளவுக்கு equality கண்டிப்பா தேவை. There has to be a 50-50 in some way. Men are not the only providers now. Women can do the same as well. So it has to be 50-50. I'm glad my father displayed that. My grandfather did not get a chance to see, but stories have evolved that he did. My father taught me that வீட்டு வேலையும் ஒழுங்கா செய்யணும், 50-50 இருக்கணும்.
Nice. That's a very good explanation.
That's my thought.
இப்போ வந்து I want to see Yuva give his own take on this whole thing.
My one is a bit different lah. So நீங்க சொன்ன example எல்லாம் had to do with evolution of what traditionally females were restricted from and what they have fought to be able to do now. என்னோட வந்து okay from I grew up in from an extended family wise la பாட்டி தாத்தா uncles all nu பார்த்தா right. Still very traditional extended family. So and family context la வந்து we all most of the time party வீட்ல தான் இருந்தோம் எல்லாரும். So அங்க வந்து there was a little bit of a toxic culture where அவங்க வந்து ஆம்பளைங்களை வீட்டு வேலை செய்ய விட மாட்டாங்க. அந்த ரொம்ப வயசானவங்க அதை வந்து செய்ய விடவே மாட்டாங்க இந்த பாட்டி தாத்தா வீட்டில் இல்லாட்டி மாமா அத்தை வீட்டில எல்லாம். ஸோ அது வந்து ஐ ஃபவுண்ட் வெரி இரிட்டேட்டிங். ஏன்னா அதை வந்து என் வீட்டில் கற்றுக் கொடுக்கல. ஓகே ஸோ ஹவ் ஐ ஃபவுண்ட் அ வெரி இரிட்டேட்டிங் இஸ் as I was growing up right, என் பெற்றோருக்கு என்கிட்ட என்ன கற்றுக் கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா, இஃப் யூ மேட் அ மெஸ் யூ clear it up, if you took a plate to eat you go and wash the plate. அந்த மாதிரி மெசேஜஸோட நம்ம வளர்ந்தோம். ஸோ இட்ஸ் லைக் ஒரு பொறுப்புணர்வு இருந்துச்சு, ஏதாவது செஞ்சா நீங்க தான் கிளியர் பண்ணணும்னு. ஸோ இஃப் லைக் நான் வந்து லைக் இஃப் லைக் go to a relatives house like an uncle house or something right, அங்கே போய் எனக்கு வந்து ஒரு பழக்கம் இருக்கு, சாப்பிட்ட மங்க கழுவினோம். எஸ்பெஷலி if I go to another person house because என் வீட்டில் இருந்து I know how annoying it is. எனக்கு ஓகே ஸோ கான்டாக்ட் எனக்கு வந்து மங்குகளை பிடிக்கவே பிடிக்காது. மங்கு கழுவ பிடிக்கவே பிடிக்காது. I hate washing dishes. I don't like getting my hands wet and all my shit wet and all that shit. Okay, so when I go to a relative's house or that, I make sure that அதை வந்து நான் செய்வேன். ஏன்னா because to me it's a person, I find it annoying, so I don't want anybody else to go through that because of me, you see. So நான் வந்து wash பண்ண போகுது. Then so my relative will say, hey ஞாபகம் பிள்ளை நீ இதெல்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்க, அது கட்டுப்பாயிரும்.
Yes,
I'll get fucking fed up. This is nothing to do with fighting for like against the stereotype that women only should do housework and men should do housework, all that. I mean, yeah, I totally disagree with the stereotype, but I feel that if there's a mess, any human regardless of gender, you should clear your mess. If they told me that நீ வந்து வீட்டுல கெஸ்டா இருக்க, you don't wash the plate, I can take that with a pinch of salt and respect that. ஆனா if you tell me that ஆம்பளை பிள்ளை இது பண்ணக்கூடாது பண்ணக்கூடாது, I'll get very pissed off because that takes away the whole sense of என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் responsibility and all that. So I think it ties in with நம்ம society-ல there are people who are progressive and there are people who are a bit more traditional. So I think both goes hand in hand as women வந்து அவங்க வந்து they fought and scratch and clawed their way to be able to get more equality with number like males. So, and with that, right, I think the traditional aspect of ஆம்பளைங்க வந்து like mustn't do generally in the household chores and things that women traditionally were associated with, அதெல்லாம் should be toned down as well. Because what happens in a lot of households is, right, பெண்கள் have their own traditional responsibilities plus the modern responsibilities. In a lot of families, I have seen and heard of those things, and it's very, very unfair.
I agree to Viva. I've seen it firsthand also.
Yeah,
Not talking about household
totally
chores,
unfair.
even the
I'm just talking
dressing
about
aspect. Dressing aspect.
Just the traditional
Minimum-
mindset lah.
Yeah.
நான் வீட்டு வேலை எக்ஸாம்பிள் உதாரணத்தா சொல்றேன், but yeah, that's my opinion on things.
என்னோட வியூ வந்து because I noticed a pattern among what you all say. ஒரு உங்களோட anecdoteல வந்து ஒரு 50-50 theme இருந்துச்சு.
Yeah.
So there's someone that you all, not you all, not someone that you know, this system has to thank, and that someone is this feminist called Simone de Beauvoir. அவங்க வந்து ஒரு French philosopher. So what she did was she was very influential in this feminist movement, second wave feminist movement. Okay, I won't get into all this detail, but second wave feminist movement.
Oh wait, I just one liner before Sharif goes on, right?
Yeah.
So feminist now, there's nowadays there's a negative context associated with that word, but ana feminism layer there's a lot of different categories. For example, feminism, there is one sort of feminism where females just want more equality in society. There's another group that wants superiority, another group that wants superiority and putting men down. So I'm not saying any of this is right or wrong, but I'm just saying that feminism க்கு association இருக்கு. அது வந்து ஒரு totally different topic, and Sharif is talking about the one who are striving for equality, right?
Yeah, in a way. Okay, yeah. Second wave feminism வந்து it started in 1960s. So the person who propagated in the movement வந்து அவங்க பேர் வந்து Simone de Beauvoir. She wrote a book called The Second Sex. So in the bookல வந்து she acknowledged ஆம்பளைங்களும் பொம்பளைங்களும் they are different. She acknowledged all the differences that, you know, men வந்து yes they are physically stronger, but at the same time அவங்க வந்து she believed that this gender roles and gender is a social construct. So what she propagated was that even though we are different, அவங்க கொடுக்கிற roles and responsibilities 50-50 இருக்கணும். So she became one of the really influential voices வந்து in this feminist movement, second wave feminism. She has said other things where, like, marriage is an oppressive institution, motherhood is an oppressive institution, but that aside, she really put forth one of the most influential arguments, where ladies started to take charge and they started to make change for themselves. So in a way, it's actually very good. This gender roles slowly started to change வந்து World War II க்கு அப்புறமா, because World War II வந்து all the men were fighting the wars. Yeah. So to make the uniforms, to continue the industrialization, they had to ask the women to work. So women were involved in other aspects of the war effort outside of factories. More than 6 million women America when they took wartime jobs in factories. So all this really was a collective effort to kickstart all this equality in the household and equality in the workplace as well. So I just wanted to share that fact with you all. The personal views on that, I'm more of a traditional minded person, but I've seen in the modern interpretation of gender roles, a lot of benefits கொண்டு வந்திருக்கு. For example, ஆம்பளைங்க வந்து they started to take more responsibility and more accountability, which is very important, especially in the home. chores லாம் பண்றது, வீட்டை கழுவுறது, தட்டெல்லாம் கழுவுறது. சில ஆண்கள் வந்து they believe is only restricted for women, but I feel that men have to start taking more accountability when it comes to hygiene, maintaining the home. Yeah.
ஷாரிஃப், நீ இப்ப சொல்ற நீ வந்து you are somewhat traditional but 50-50.
No, I'm more traditional.
No,
You're more
he's
traditional.
more traditional, but what
But now
he's
I
saying
see
is that அந்த male-க்குன்னு associate பண்ண சில விஷயங்கள் needs to be improved also, because males in a way weren't seen as people who needed to do that lah. ஆனா அந்த to have the sense of like a,
The
I think tying into what I said, and the responsibility and just being independent. And I think if you want to be like garang enough to tell that you're a man, right, you need to clean up your own shit lah.
Exactly.
Basically, in the military also they teach you the same thing. Or you make your own bed, all this, all that. So
My point simply, solo pona in two sentences. Women are stepping up. Men have to step up.
Yeah.
So my question is now, what are your views? If Sharif is slightly traditional in terms of men have to take up responsibility. What about you? You are in Jawad. What are your view? ஏன்னா இங்க வந்து what was it like growing up னு சொன்னீங்க, what you saw னு சொன்னீங்க. ஒரு 2 லைன்ல highlighting 2 லைன்ல what would you say your view is?
100% freedom
யாருக்கு?
to your partner.
Okay.
100% freedom to do whatever and whatever they want, whenever they want, as long they know where the limit lies. As long I don't need to step in and say, look, this is not right. Because when I say that means something is not right. And I expect them to accept it. Because நான் எதுவுமே சொல்லாத person. Like I feel that now உனக்கு full freedom, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, go out with whoever you want, like talk, make any kind of decisions, as long it's like together kind of thing. At the same time they can, as long they know the limit lah. For me it's where they should know the limit without even thinking about it.
But நீ சொன்னது வந்து ஒரு I see a bit of a contradiction lah. Full freedom கொடுத்துட்டு because
Over the limit.
இல்ல
Yes.
limit, the thing is when you're in a relationship or marriage, by default வந்து there should be a compromise between both parties.
Yeah, there is
So
compromise.
there is no 100% freedom as you're saying.
இல்ல என்னோட contradiction என்னன்னா,
No, okay, நீ வந்து compromise sorry. What are the things you're talking about compromising?
Loyalty, responsibility, to name a few lah.
That is not compromise. That's basic needs. What?
No, because when
Okay,
you're in a
okay. Talking about loyalty.
yeah,
Then what's the next one? Is it?
responsibility.
Royalty inside my DNA.
இல்ல இரு எனக்கு ஒரு இந்த கட்டத்துல before you all carry on the argument, the debate I should say,
Yeah.
ஒரு contradiction. ஏன்னா இதை கேட்குற வந்து ஒரு let's say from a female perspective,
Yeah.
they'll first thing they'll question Javas, என்ன நீ should I ask permission from you னு கேட்பாங்க.
No,
Because
I told them they are not going to ask permission. What?
It seems like நீ முதல்ல உன் வார்த்தை என்னன்னா 100% freedom. So it seems like you are the one in control. You get what I mean?
No, okay. You see, they are okay. For me, right, I've seen personally where I don't know whether I can say toxic relationship where the person controls, like picks the phone and checks the phone, like where you going, like every slight movement kind of thing. I don't think it's right. Even I don't see my father doing that to my mom. My mom goes out, she does whatever she wants to do. She doesn't even need to tell my father kind of stuff. But if he finds, like when it comes to an important thing, right, and then he finds out or she has to tell him or something, and then if he tells her, okay, sorry varadu or don't do, she doesn't override.
அது actually more to mutual respect anyway.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing I want to have and I will have.
So you're
So
saying
it's mutual-
freedom as long there's respect for your boundaries and her boundaries.
Yes,
100% freedom on both sides with mutual respect. Not
exactly.
just
Eva?
Okay, I can
மறுபடியும்
digest
சொல்லணுமா?
your point a bit more. Yeah.
Wait, Sharif had something to say to Jawar, right?
Yeah. Shari, what do you mean by loyalty? And then what's another one you said?
No, when you already single இருக்கிறப்போ you have full freedom to have to date whoever you want, full freedom. You don't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah,
But automatically the relationship or marriage you have someone to answer to. You're responsible to that person.
liable.
Yeah.
Liable.
Accountable to the person.
Accountable to the person. So அந்த 100% freedom வந்து is a contradiction ன்னு சொல்றேன்.
No, if you're 100% freedom, but whatever you say is the basic thing, what? You shouldn't be overwriting it, what? Like loyalty, then accountability, then responsibility, and whatever things. As long you have a partner, this is the basic guidelines. And as long you don't overstep these guidelines and you're doing whatever you want to do without affecting your partner in any other way, it's right already, what?
Okay, நீ முதல்ல சொன்ன point is bit more digestible. Like when I say, okay, apart from this like loyalty and like accountability and all that, right? You have your room to maneuver னு சொல்லலாம். And ஒரு அதுக்கு வந்து interruption இல்ல from the other party னு சொல்றேன். Correct? Okay. Yeah.
So it goes both ways, not only my way,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it goes both ways. So I expect my partner also, they also can do whatever they want to do. But as long, like you say, all these basic guidelines, it's a thing, what? So it's like a vow, you meet to the person when you get married.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why like in modern society there's like a ongoing joke or meme that like கல்யாணம் பண்றப்போ that's all game over னு சொல்லலாம், because when the game is actually your freedom lah.
No, it's
That's what
not
they
freedom.
say.
Okay, for example, right? I'm going to quote you, quote and unquote you. Okay, you are.
மச்சான் எதுக்கு ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிக்க.
Okay, so for example, whenever you wants to come out or play game, he will say, "I'm going to sign consent form." It's a joke. It's a joke. Okay, that doesn't mean it's like a literally you going to print out. You going to put our name.
Actually ஒரு ஃபோல்டர்ல consent form வச்சிருப்பான்டா.
You going to print out, put going out with Sharif this time to this time, this place to this place, bold, highlight, underline, then get Ashwini to sign. No, right? It's not going to happen, right?
How you know?
How do I know, sir?
How do you know?
How do I know?
Maybe he's a over delivering husband. No, he's a very good husband. He actually does it. How do you know? Ashwini கேக்காத. Ashwini கேக்காத. ஆனா இவன் செய்வான். Yeah. How do you know? That is my question.
Interesting.
Trade secrets all வெளிய சொல்லக்கூடாதுடா.
இன்னுமே 4 consent form sign கிடைக்காது.
No, I think the way I can't say I mean I would like to operate without revealing too much info about my own relationship is like now and I prefer, I understand Jawar enna solra, but I think the terminology he uses is wrong. Because if let's say the respect irundu blah 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 and you say that you want total freedom, there's a contradiction really. Because if you have total freedom, you don't need to go and tell your partner I'm going out now. You don't need to go and tell your partner I'm doing this and all that. You can just answer them if they ask you after you go out. That is total freedom. And if அந்த மாதிரி relationship works for you, then it works for you lah. But I think there's most relationships like எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு அந்த ஒரு basic I think basic communication இருக்கு. ஏன்னா okay, the reason why I have this communication about why let's say நான் உங்க கூட வெளியே போறேன்னா, or if let's say I want to do something and all that, right, it just helps with planning. Because if let's say we want to plan to spend time together, or let's say we need to run some errands or all this and all that, or if let's say like நான் வேற எனக்கு வீட்டில் ஒருத்தன் இருக்கான், so we need to take care of him also, you see. So in the all these responsibilities and number one, if they say I never update her or she never update me, right, our individual plans can get affected also. So adhanala we update each other. Is if you want to look at it as a lack of freedom, then I guess it can be a lack of freedom, but it comes with adulthood. But in my opinion, it's not a lack of freedom. It's just part of life.
So actually, and what you were say, right, is what I feel also. That is not lack of freedom. That is what it's how it's supposed to be, because you're sharing your personal space with someone. And
I disagree with you on that. I don't think it's how it's supposed to be. If it works for you, then it works for you. If there's another way,
it's not how it's supposed to be, but from what I see so far like personally, நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி from most of the relationship, it's how it most of the time operates. Like they tell the partner, okay, I'm going this, so is there any plans, are we going to see our in-laws or something like that? And okay,
actually quote unquote and the consent from நீ joke பண்ணல, it's actually
it's just a joke lah.
It's just a joke lah.
இல்ல it's a joke. No, it's a joke, but
the four of us know it's a joke.
It's a joke.
People who don't know the context won't know it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. The quote unquote consent form is actually mutual respect. Is basically that's it.
Communication and respect,
which is the two key aspects of a relationship. Topic on the வேற எங்கேயோ போகுது, but
actually I can tie it back because before this generation, in the generation நம்ம generation முன்னால
yes could do it, like just leave and bring in
ஆம்பளைங்க like they set the rules. நான் சொல்றது தான் சட்டம்.
Even very
I don't know whether that's bad or good. You know, back then their own way of
Fuck
operating.
it lah.
Like
See,
even-
in my opinion, is bad lah.
No,
That's
what I wanted to say
wasn't
about
in
that.
their shoes to say it's bad or good.
My father, after he got married to my mom, he did this thing. He went out with his friend. He didn't tell my mom. And she got very worried because she was pregnant with me and this man is like missing kind of thing. She had to call the whole village, like my father's side, my father's brother, my everyone. And then she finally got hold of the friend and the friend is like, "Yen kuda tha irukan padam paaka vandirukandi." Then my mother like okay, normal about it. She never got angry and stuff. At least she knows where is he. But apparently the following day they were supposed to go to my grandma's house. And when he went there, everybody literally screwed him. See, உன்னை நம்பி ஒரு like உன் wife இல்ல இருக்கா,
wife வந்து,
she's, pregnant and stuff, irresponsible இருக்கு.
இது வந்து காந்தி மகான் கதை மாதிரி இருக்கு.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is funny lah.
அந்த கதை எங்கோ பார்த்த மாதிரி இருக்கு ஒரு dialogue.
You can come and talk about it.
ஒரு தண்ணி தானே குடிச்சேன். If he loves you, if he truly love you.
Hey, you are Bruce beside you ah. கருப்பா இருக்க டேபிள்ல.
On your right, on your right.
On your right. Yeah, that's
Oh, back ah.
டேய்
புருஷ சேல மாதிரி என்ன
சில்வர் கலர்ல பக்கல்
ஆனா
இருக்கும்.
I say ரொம்ப ஒபீடியன்ட்டா இருக்கேன் இன்னைக்கு.
அது இங்க இருக்கு.
right. So I was saying வந்து போன ஜெனரேஷன் வந்து the ஆம்பளைங்க வந்து they operated வந்து அவங்க சொல்றது தான் சட்டம். And society had to evolve. Like I'm not going to say sit here and judge the previous generation because they did what they had to do. அவங்களோட society அப்படிதான் and also what
I think society back then was completely different.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to sit there and judge
inflation. Contributing factors to me is inflation rates, how society was managed back then,
yeah,
and எல்லாமே. I think all these contributing factors. That is why the term, the evolution of gender roles, I would say the evolution of society had
And
a part
also
to play in it.
educational. Education is accessible now to everyone.
Exactly, education வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் இப்ப, especially
Exactly.
சிங்கப்பூர்ல you see எல்லாருக்கும் the first thing they talk about is education.
and
Exactly. கல்யாணத்துக்கு நீங்க எங்க போனாலும் say ஷரீஃப் நீ ஒரு கல்யாணத்தை பண்ணினா கல்யாணம் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி உன் படிப்பு என்னன்னு கேட்பாங்க.
No, not only that. பத்திரிக்கை they will put the மாப்பிள்ளை பொண்ணு name, then they will put below.
Oh yeah.
MBBS, MBA, MBA.
BSc.
MBA படிப்பாரு.
ரொம்ப முக்கியம். இல்ல அந்த பத்திரிக்கை பார்த்து அட்ரஸ் எப்படி போறதுன்னு முடிச்சு.
இல்ல கல்யாண பத்திரிக்கை பார்த்தாக்கா போகணுமா போக கூடாதா, பிரியாணி இருக்குமா, ஆக்சுவலி that's the first thing I look at. கோயில் கல்யாணமா இல்ல மண்டப கல்யாணமா, அதுதான் முதல்ல பார்ப்பேன். I think gender roles நீ சொல்ற மாதிரி it's not about judging, it's just completely different back then and now. So it's just completely different. So it is good that we are, I mean, within the four of us, I'm a 4 பேர்ல, because I've known people, I still know people who hold on to that crutch where men should be out there working, women should be in the kitchen.
I have never met someone like that.
I have met and I have given my piece of thought. So it happens. Evolution did not happen to him, but I can't change that.
So
But that means he never meet Triple H da.
Ric Flair. Anyways, sorry.
இல்ல so இந்த கான்டெக்ஸ்ட்ல பேசும்போது ஓகே நாங்க being an Indian podcast talking about Indian issues and global issues but also pertaining to the Indian society. I came across வந்து ஒரு article வந்து was done by this company called Pew Research. So உங்களுக்கு தெரியலனா Pew Research is one of the most reputable research organizations out there. Whenever you hear a debate, you'll hear someone say Pew Research, according to Pew Research. So the article வந்து key findings on Indian attitudes towards gender roles. I'm not சுருக்கமா சொல்ல போனா like there was a lot of mentality changes towards this whole gender roles within society. So few key pointers வந்து Indians வந்து they broadly accept women as political leaders. Example Indira Gandhi, Jayalalitha.
Okay.
And also they also accept சில Indians வந்து while most Indians say that ஆண்களும் பெண்களும் should share some family responsibilities, சில பேர் they still support traditional gender roles it's a change, but yeah, we are seeing some kind of change as well. Yes, the best part of this one, the one I really like, when the Indians favor teaching boys to respect women as a way to improve women's safety. So I was telling the point where a lot of things that I was emphasizing is improve male accountability, improve the responsibilities that male have, and the respect that male have towards women. So this is very nice to see in this article. Pudinja, maybe the show notes we can link the articles, once we publish the episode. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this.
One thing in the conversation and the coming to a closure lah, and one thing I can learn is like gender evolution is a real thing. As வந்து we see in our everyday lives in
Gender
different
role evolution.
Gender role evolution, sorry. We've seen in our daily lives. அதை வந்து நம்ம வெவ்வேறு நோக்கத்துல பார்க்குறோம். அது கண்டிப்பா மாறிக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். இப்போ வந்து பேலன்ஸ் ஆயிருக்கு. But I don't think there's going to be a time where there's going to be a mega shift again where male will be dominant or female will be dominant. In my opinion, I don't think that's how the future would be. I think the future is going to be more stabilized and more 50-50.
Yeah, bro, there's World War III coming. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, whatever roles, be it gender roles or racial roles or whatever, everything will keep changing.
I mean, apart from the World War III, apart from the World War III stuff and all that, I think in terms of society evolution, there needs to be another big, huge change. I don't think அது வந்து war மூலமா வரும்னு எனக்கு சத்தியமா
not just war, I mean cultural
I think there has to be
அப்படி நீ பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த war மூலமா வந்தா there's going to be more inflation and there's more necessity for both to work.
Yeah, we don't know
we don't know what's the possibility. I mean
அந்த வழியில பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்ப ஏற்கனவே பெட்ரோல் விலை எல்லாம் ஏறி இருக்குல, அதுக்கு சொல்றேன்.
we don't know what's going to happen, but the only thing we know is change is the only constant.
Change is only constant.
I'm pretty sure you tell my great grandfather saying that women work now, right? They'll probably look at me like I sinned. I'm very sure of that. So அவங்க காலத்துல இருந்து whatever happening now is not possible. நம்ம பிற்காலத்துல
terminated
நம்ம பிற்காலத்துல வந்து என்ன நடக்கும் I can't say for sure, but my opinion it'll be 50-50 moving forward. More stabilized 50-50.
I think we're going towards different, because I believe in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs thing. ஸோ நேயர்களுக்கு அதுக்கு கான்டெக்ட் என்னன்னா, அதுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஆளோட அடிப்படை தேவைகள் இல்லாட்டி மற்ற தேவைகள்னு பார்த்தா அதுக்கு வந்து ஒரு பிரமிட் ஃபார்மில் ஒரு ஹைரார்க்கி இருக்குது. ஸோ your physiological needs, then what else physiological needs, அப்புறம் your
social needs, so then self-actualization, then
self-actualization is the very top
like that,
so self-actualization is okay. So physiological வந்து உங்களோட shelter, food, things to do for survival, and then they work all the way up to self-actualization na my memory is a bit fuzzy, இதெல்லாம் யூனிட் டைம்ல படிச்சது. but self-actualization is more about how நீங்க வந்து you plan to how you perceive yourself or whatever goals you have of yourself, you try to implement those things. And I think the way society இப்போ வந்து ரொம்ப மாறுதுன்னு பார்த்தா, I think we've come to a point where in most, I would say, like developed countries, especially those city countries அந்த மாதிரி பார்த்தா, நிறைய women வேலை செய்கிறாங்க, நிறைய guys also working and all that, and அதனால like you got your things like your burning out at work, and for guys they got a lot of things like guys are trying to juggle the responsibilities of the traditional roles that men have, but they are struggling to cope with it, and then they feel like அங்க வந்து ஒரு identity crisis இருக்கு, like isn't this what a man is supposed to do, why can't I do this, அந்த மாதிரி சில thoughts வரும் நிறைய menக்கு. And women also, I've come across a lot of women where they are trying to be they're trying to work so hard because women have fought so hard to get to a position to where they are in society now, right? Like as a gender and as a sex. So they want to do their best to keep pushing that forward, and they keep working hard to. A lot of people, they want to prove that women can do this, women can do that. Adhanalaya, there's a lot of like pressure that they put on themselves also as other people. I think the problem we are at now is a bit higher up in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We are no longer looking at trying to bridge a gap between what was missing to what can be. For the most part, I mean, there will always be the gap. There will always be the gap that's trying to bridge for both males and females. But I think now in most developed societies, the problem has to do with more about mental illness and அந்த மாதிரி related problems lah. So yeah, I mean, to tie into what you say, change is the only constant. But in that sense, I think a lot of places are also moving towards different problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
The world has many problems, and the problem solve பண்றதுக்கு people will try to solve the problem.
Yes. All listen to Ariana Grande's Problem.
I never listened to the song.
They nice
okay
da.
da.
Later I send you
I never
I
knew
send
that
you the video song.
It's
So-
okay da.
மச்சான் just a reminder, ரமடான் இப்பதான் முடிஞ்சது. But anyways,
புரிஞ்சதா?
இந்த எபிசோட் வரப்ப
Right.
வரந்த ஏன்னா ஏன் நேர்களுக்கு கான்டெக்ட் என்னன்னா நம்ம வந்து இது தேதி என்ன
2 வாரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி
22ஆம் தேதி
ரெக்கார்ட் பண்றோம். ஸோ பேசிக்லி இட்ஸ் ஜஸ்ட் 2 weeks ahead.
No, it's not முடியாதுடா. Ramadan is on the Hari Raya is on the 3rd.
ஸோ முடியறதுக்கு கொஞ்ச நாள் இருக்கும். நேர்கள் வந்து to those listening out there, this is we've come to a conclusion. Have we come to a conclusion?
Yes.
change is the only constant.
No, I think all of us do agree that it's a 50-50.
To some extent. To some extent. Sharif வந்து is more traditional, but he is 50-50. நான் வந்து complete 50-50.
You are?
Whatever works for you, just do lah.
What's up? You love it?
It's true.
I for me, I think it depends on the day lah.
I think it really depends. If let's say உங்களோட கல்யாணத்துல if you two prefer the traditional role, then just shut the fuck up and do the traditional role.
Exactly.
If you prefer equality, do the equality thing.
Yeah.
Just don't impose it onto other people.
Actually, yeah, that's the point. Don't impose what you think is right. and
Just,
what you
yeah,
think is
just be happy.
right. Yeah.
Happy for
happy.
yourself and be
Start
happy for
music.
others.
Yeah.
So we want to know your thoughts also. அங்க போடுற snippets and ஸ்டோரிஸ்க்கு வந்து உங்க தாட்ஸ் அனுப்புங்க, உங்க கமெண்ட்ஸ் அனுப்புங்க.
TikTokல comment பண்ணுங்க.
And just a disclaimer, இது வந்து if you find it sexist, we apologize if you find it sexist, but அது நம்ம நோக்கம் இல்லை. We gave our general view based on research that was done by scientists and researchers, and we are just sharing our thought from our daily lives
Personal experience.
and our
Personal
personal
experiences.
experiences. In no way we want to defame women, and women are integral part in our lives. I hope that message gets across to you.
So அடுத்த வாரம் we will see you with another
another
episodes.
Yes. ஒரு புத்துணர்ச்சியுடன்.
அடுத்த வார டாபிக் வாட்ஸ்அப் ஸ்டிக்கர்ஸ். அது enough.
Stickers.
அட போச்சே.